Everybody, I hope everybody's having a great Friday. I'm excited. I've been excited about this all day. I realize I recognize this feeling. It's the feeling I have when company's coming over. And that's how my preparations for this Facebook Live is what that is. I'm so excited to get together with you guys. I'm going to get started cooking right away, and then I have quite a few questions to answer from you all that I got after yesterday's Facebook Live and also from the other recipes I've done this week. So we are making a Lenten dish today. It is a shrimp pasta with tomatoes, and it is things that I had in my pantry. I always have pasta. I have Louisiana shrimp in my freezer almost all the time, but I can tell you in this part of the world it's readily available, and it makes a great quick dish. So what I have done before we got started here live was on a sheet pan, and I'll hold that and see, is that helping, Fatima? You can see that? So what's on this sheet pan is butter, some olive oil, it's about 3/4 of a stick of butter, and a good drizzle of olive oil. And I took grape cherry tomatoes. You could use grape tomatoes though, and I cut them in half, and I put them on the sheet pan. I added some salt and pepper, and I thinly sliced a shallot. So this is a shallot. You could use an onion. A red onion would be great. This is what I found at the store. It's what was available, and it works just fine. But an onion sort of thing of some sort on the pan. Pretty hot oven, like a good 450-degree oven, and they've shriveled and they've popped, and the onions have started to caramelize. So this is magic on a sheet pan right here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add shrimp. So I have peeled, deveined shrimp. These are large shrimp, which is fine. And I'm going to do about a pound. And I do toss the shrimp before I do a preparation like this. Almost, if I'm doing shrimp and grits or something like that, I take about a half a teaspoon of baking soda, and I toss the shrimp in the baking soda, and it just helps to keep them from getting mushy. So these go on the sheet pan, and these are going to cook in less than 10 minutes. While I get some other things together. But you want to spread these out on the sheet pan. When it comes to sheet pan suppers, they're like the thing right now. They're very, very popular, and everyone's doing them. I will say that there is a little bit of finesse to it. A lot of folks, want it to be like a magic sheet pan, but you do need to know where your heat is, and you do need to know about what you should be combining on the sheet pan. The main thing I want to do here is create some space and make sure I'm making use of my edges, because those are the hottest part of the sheet pan. Now I'm going to generously sprinkle this with our Tuscan Blend. So what you're going to do is go into your pantry, and you're going to find an Italian blend, a pizza blend, a Mediterranean blend of some sort. That's going to get you there. What's happening in Tuscan Blend is herbs and spices, basil. It's got some zing from sun-dried tomato and lemon. So I'm going to get that all over the shrimp, and that goes back in that very hot oven to cook. So the way you want to time this is you're going to drop your pasta at right when those tomatoes are going in the oven. Those tomatoes roasted for probably somewhere around 7 to 9 minutes, and that's about what you need for pasta, because you need hot pasta coming in with hot shrimp from the oven in the bowl for it all to come together. The starches that are in the pasta water are going to help to make sort of a sauce with the liquid that's come away from those tomatoes when you toss it in the bowl. And the longer it sits, that hot pasta is going to pull up a lot of that liquid. So it's important that you time it that way. It's not that complicated. Drop your pasta, get those tomatoes in the oven, and then all your timing is going to come together. So while we're waiting on those shrimp to do their thing, I wanted to do a quick dessert. We've normally just done one recipe on these lives, but this one's going to come together so quickly. I thought, why not throw it in there? Plus, when I was grabbing cherry tomatoes today, the Louisiana strawberries were ridiculous. They're absolutely beautiful. And remember, even though a lot has stopped at this time, a lot isn't available while we're scrambling to get toilet paper, the plants haven't stopped growing. The crawfish is still being harvested, the strawberries are still being harvested, and all of that's available. We need to be eating it like it's our business. So I've got Louisiana strawberries, and what I've done is I've taken glasses and sliced strawberries, and I'll slice one for you guys. So these tops of the strawberries are, my chickens at home go bananas for these. So don't throw that in the trash. They love eating those when we throw those out to them. So I've got a little container for them. And so sliced strawberries go in the glass, and we're going to add some sugar to the sliced strawberries. It's called, when you put sugar on fruit for it to release its juices, it's called macerating. I taught 6th grade briefly, food and culture, and you can't say that word with 6th grade boys. That didn't go so well. So word to the wise if you're homeschooling. But it's all about sugar. Caleb's in the room with us and he's cracking up. It's all about sugar on fruit. It makes some juices, and it already happened with these. So just granulated sugar, you guys. And you could do a spice at this point. You could do cinnamon or something like that. That would be delicious. Okay, sugar on the strawberries. And then what I did was I had yogurt, and I sweetened it ever so slightly. I had plain yogurt and sweetened it slightly. I smell shrimp, and I want to take a peek. And they look fantastic. So I've got yogurt, and that is going to go on top of the strawberries. And I make these in the morning and put plastic over them and park them in the fridge all day. And then that's me and my husband's dessert in the evening. So a nice dollop of yogurt on those. This is a great breakfast too. And then granola. So we sell a lovely granola here in the shop made by a New Orleans food artisan. And I'm going to use that granola. But I do want to tell you that you can probably pull a really nice granola together from your pantry right now. So I have 2 granola recipes on the website. And what you're going to need is oats, nuts, dried fruit. I love coconut in my granola. I've got chia seeds. There's probably even more that you could pull together in your pantry. And it needs sweetener, and it needs fat. And I typically use a high heat oil like pecan oil, but a vegetable oil is just fine. Just a neutral oil or a nut oil. And then you need sweet, which is typically honey, and a lot of folks will use maple syrup. I love maple granola. Then sky's the limit. Let's grab some cinnamon, cardamom. You could pull in extracts at this point, vanilla extract, almond extract. So you probably have what you need to make a granola in your pantry. It is really good for you. Lots of good fats in here. And is also a great way for middle schoolers and high schoolers to get in the kitchen, make a big container of granola for you. And that's a great drop off to neighbors as well. Drop off some granola to them. So now I'm going to do granola on these parfaits, make a super big mess of it. So I've got granola, and then I'm going to do honey. And then those park in my fridge. Like I said, I make them that morning, and we eat them that evening or the next day for breakfast. But those are some beautiful Louisiana strawberry parfaits ready for dessert. Okay, I feel like my shrimp is definitely ready. So I'm going to pull that. And this is all going to come together in a big bowl. Yeah, those shrimp are definitely ready. So those tomatoes have started to, can you see it, Fatima? Those tomatoes have started to really blister. They're getting brown in spots. The shrimp are definitely cooked through. It smells amazing, and all that goodness is going to go in the bowl with the pasta. And this is going to get a spritz of lemon and some cheese to go on it. So let's start layering this in. So pasta goes in. A little bit of that pasta water is coming with it. And again, that's going to help thicken things. And let me start getting this goodness into that bowl. Wow, that smells amazing. that Tuscan blend, as will your Italian blends that you can use from your pantry. You can smell the basil, rosemary. This is also a great time. I would do it at the end. I wouldn't bake with it. But if anything's growing in the herb garden, definitely get that in here. I grabbed parsley and basil before I left home to come and cook. And I'm going to get that in there as well. So we've got that. Let me get this out of the way. Okay. So my tongs. So I'm going to try to tilt and toss here. I want to make sure Fatima's seeing that for you guys.
Yeah. Tilt it a little bit more.
More?
Yeah.
Better?
Yeah.
So I can already see it and feel it pulling together. I've got a little bit of pasta left in my pot and I'm going to add it in here. Oh my goodness. Like, I'm so happy right now. This is amazing. This is a killer dish. So this is a recipe from my store manager, Jennifer, Fatima's mom. She sent me this recipe. Well, she first sent it to me in what I'll call hieroglyphics. And I said, have I taught you nothing? How do you not know how to write a recipe? And she finally was able to pull it together in good sentences and information I could understand. But I'm so excited that we are sharing recipes right now. We're also digging into what's abundant in our kitchens and sharing it with our neighbors. Alana brought me venison the other day. I turned around and gave her yard eggs from my chickens. I love that this stuff is happening for us right now, despite all the scariness in the world. So sharing those recipes, writing them properly, but sharing those recipes is what it's all about right now. Okay, I'm gonna push this a little bit out of the way because I wanna get green onions in here. Jennifer usually does a handful of spinach. So I've got a handful of spinach going in. Green onions, spinach. The heat from the pasta and the shrimp is gonna wilt the spinach. Got spinach going in. We're gonna do a lemon and some basil. Let me chop my basil. I have parsley from my yard as well. Get my basil in there. So some fresh chopped herbs, and I need to squeeze my lemon in there, and then I'm gonna taste. So a nice rough chop on those herbs. Those go in. I'm gonna grab a lemon. My handy squeezer. Juice of half of a lemon. I'm going to toss that around. Now our Tuscan blend has salt in it, so your Mediterranean blend or Italian blend in your pantry or pizza blend may not have any salt in it. This is all about tasting and adjusting. Our Tuscan blend also has a fair amount of chilies in it, a fair amount of heat. So I know I don't need to do a ton for salt and heat because of that blend, but you may need to adjust. Okay, I'm gonna take a bite. Caleb, won't you join me? Would you grab 2 shallow bowls over there? And we need a couple of forks. Are you game for some shrimp pasta?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Shrimp pasta. I'm highly excited having watched this come.
Oh, I also want to show you guys, I got a lot of photos about the sheet pan grilled cheese, and they were all awesome. But I did want to point out that kind of the magic behind the sheet pan grilled cheese is getting a whole bunch of sandwiches on the sheet pan and that they are butted up against each other. That even if you do half a sheet pan, still push them together, bunch them together, all butted up to each other. So I made another pan for staff today to show you all that that's the thinking. It's about getting a bunch of sandwiches done all at once. All right, let me get these out of the way, and you and I are going to taste pasta. Caleb is here with us in the shop just about every day, and he is a master at getting the store stocked and also helping out with online orders, which we've gotten a ton of those. So thank you guys. All right,
Also
let's see how
great at eating delicious shrimp pasta.
There you go. Stop it, right?
Mm.
So good.
That's really good.
Okay. Thanks, guys. I'll be back tomorrow, 4:30. I'm coming here every day and doing this at 4:30. I'd love if you join me. Thanks, and have a great weekend.